Hello and welcome. I am so glad you're here. I'm Beth, a creator-based coach with CMH Coaching for Life. I'm here today to help you and those you love create a life you feel grounded and at home in. Think of a life where you feel peace, love for those around you, and in a flow with just enough challenge to keep you happy and creating something wonderful. Sounds like magic, but it's not. You can create that life every single day. You can have a life full of love, excitement, hope, and creation. Our mission at CMH Coaching is to flood the earth with light through compassion, mindfulness, and hope. And I'm going to ask a favor of you. If you like what you see and hear today, think of someone you know that would enjoy and benefit from this message. Our mission is to flood the world with compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Share this with them. But for now, this is time just for you. So settle into whatever you're doing and enjoy this time with the girls, where we create that one awesome, amazing, perfect life every one of us is seeking.
You gotta watch your thinking. Watch your thinking. Watch your thinking.
Sweet. So we just send her our love and all the light that we can, and just while they make that transition for their family. So just you and me, Jacine, talk about good stuff.
Hey, I just have to share this. This was it's such a great parenting moment.
We like those.
That my son and daughter-in-law shared with us. And those of you out there who have preteen children or teenage children, you might like this a lot. One of my grandchildren, who shall remain nameless,
Protect that identity.
Right. Had a little bout with some really not nice words, some naughty words, and is old enough to know. Yes, old enough to know that that's not how we talk in the home, and be an example to your siblings and blah blah blah. And anyway, they asked her. They said, "So, what should we do about this? What?"
Right.
We can't. We've warned you. You've been having some issues. What do you think? What are you going to do? We could take your phone away from you. Is it your friends? Is it, what is it? And
yes, how can we help you clean up your language and express yourself more clearly?
Yes. And she came up. Oh, see, I was going to not.
It's okay.
That.
Lots of grandchildren. Nobody knows who that anonymous child is. That's right.
That's right. So this grandchild came up with a great idea, saying, how about I write 100 positive words with their definitions using a sentence? And that's what she did. She just wrote 100 positive words and how she can use these, and anyway, and the definitions.
That's so cool.
Wasn't that cool? I was like, that's
and
really
she
good.
came up with it herself. I love that.
Yeah,
my kids.
Sometimes, I was thinking, wow, that's a lot of words. And I don't think my son and daughter-in-law would have said, oh, you're going to write 100 words, right? But she came up with this herself, and it was brilliant.
Good for her. Well, and it seems like when you let the kids make their own decision for how they're going to express their apology or whatever they're going to do to correct things, they come up with a much more difficult thing than you would have, and quite often more meaningful. Yeah, meaningful. My kids, I used to make them write essays when they were out of line. I'd give them an essay on why such and so is important or why we don't. And it's, give me 350, give me 2,000 words, give me whatever. I would make them write essays, and oh my gosh, they hated it. Just, we didn't ground them. It was more, I suffered more when my kids were grounded than they did. So they wrote essays.
So true.
Yeah. And they'll still tell you about the terrible essays they wrote, and I would grade them and we would talk about them. It was like the worst punishment ever.
That's awesome.
But they have to, if you want to go to the dance or if you want to go with your friends, you got to turn in the essay. We have to talk about it. We have to make sure it's done.
That is brilliant. Brilliant. Well, it teaches them to write. There's so many great aspects to that, right?
It was inspired. It wasn't me. It was inspired. And so I'm like, okay, well, that's what I'll do then. Because I'm not into corporal punishment, and
right.
I learned after grounding the first couple that wasn't anything I really wanted to do. So
it's like, yeah, that doesn't work so well. What else?
And my kids didn't have cell phones because they were that old. So what
right.
are you gonna do?
Right.
Yeah. But inspired, we're talking about inspired self-care all month long. Do you remember, we can do it together, the acronym for INSPIRED?
Yes.
You don't have to look it up and just see if you remember it.
Oh,
INSPIRED is the I.
I had to spell it.
Okay, this is the I is inspired. The N is narrow. The S is strong.
Okay.
I'm doing it too. I.N.S.P. Precise.
Precise.
I inspired. That means you checked in with your creator. You got inspired with your creator. R is reachable. E is experienced. At some point in your life, you experienced something that you could bring into this goal to help you accomplish it. And D is declared, which is what we do in the 50/50 Girl Club. We declare our goals, right? So we talked about that last month, inspired goals, but this month we're going to talk about inspired self-care because we're talking about self-care all month.
We are.
And it came to me while I was writing. It really wasn't my idea. It was one of those inspirations. And I'm like, inspired self-care. Why would we want inspired self-care? and the little voice in my head said, well, do you do your self-care? And I'm like, oh, okay. So no, but I'm better at it than I used to be. But you brush your teeth, you wash your face, you eat your food, but do you always eat the best food? And do you do the other things that really help you, like meditate or read or, take your time for that kind of stuff? And so what we're talking about is creating the self-care things that matter in your personal life and with that same formula. Because when we do that, it means we're expecting more and actually doing less. We're doing less and expecting more. Do you have an experience with do less, expect more? Is that something?
Yeah, it's brilliant, actually. When I take the time, I am a list girl, and I try to just get rid of my lists, and it's not helpful for me. Right. Because then I'm just like, I float out in la la land. And so that's probably why my mother taught me to do a list and check it off. I've been experimenting with that, but with my list, it's actually looking at that and then taking it to my creator and just saying, okay, which of these is the most important? Help me determine what's the most important for me to get done today. And it's such a cool thing because when I get that number one, and it's a work in progress.
Well, permission to be human. We're not supposed to be perfect. We're supposed to be human, right?
Right. Yes. Yeah. And just being able to do that and then take that to my creator and have an answer. And, sometimes it's something I feel in my heart. Sometimes it's clarity in my mind. Sometimes like the words pop off on the page and I'm like, oh, that's clear what I need to do. Right.
Yes.
Our creator will speak to you. Your creator will speak to you. Oh, he knows your language, right? So
he does know your language. He knows it better than you do a lot of times, which is amazing to me.
Yeah. And so getting that one thing done, man, I feel fulfilled. It's the one thing that really matters most. And then there are other things on my list that, like clean out the freezer. That's like, it keeps getting pushed. I thought it was top of my list, but it's really not. I don't know.
How does that help you expect more? It doesn't, it do less, expect more. How does that work in
Yes.
your heart?
Okay. So what it does is when I do less, instead of checking off all of those little minute things or whatever,
Trying to
whatever.
get it all done. Uh-huh.
Yes, trying to get it all done before I go to bed at night and just wearing myself ragged.
Mhm.
This gives me, I guess, what I expect more of is I expect peace. That's what
Mhm.
I get from it. I get peace. I know that what I did that day really, really mattered. And it's not a lot. And sometimes it's really strategic too. It may be something as simple as, hey, reach out to your mom today,
Mhm.
call your mom. Oh, okay. And
Okay.
that's like the number one thing, right? So, yeah, it's pretty
Yeah,
interesting.
I find when I do it like that too, where I take it to my creator and, confirm my list. Usually there's 2 or 3 things that need to
Mhm.
be done in the day. It's not a long list. That when I'm finished with that checking in and that confirmation, I feel hopeful.
Oh, yeah.
And normally, and that really does help me expect more when I have that hope. Normally, if I look at my big long list, I feel overwhelmed or I feel
Mhm.
discouraged or I feel whatever, pressured, stressed in some way. But when I go and I get the short list and I confirm it with my creator, I just kind of feel like I'm rested a little bit. I feel hopeful in moving forward.
Right.
Yeah.
And
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 that,
you have more time for family, the things that really, really matter.
like your
It gives you
pedicure,
more
you need your
time. That's what it
nails
does.
painted. Yeah.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So we're going to apply that to self-care goals.
Mm,
So we have things that we love and we need as self-care. Like I am not a very nice person if I don't have quiet time for myself on a daily basis.
mhm.
I really, as an introvert, that's how I recharge. And so if I'm around people all the time and I have a big family, potentially I could be around people 24/7. But as an introvert, I need a little quiet time to recharge every day. And so that's one of my self-care goals is that I get up early enough to take that quiet time for me to nourish myself so that by the time my people are up and knocking on the door or waving in the window or asking for breakfast or whatever they're doing, I feel a little more grounded. And if it's been a good day, I have that list like you were talking about.
Yeah.
The thing is, sometimes I feel a little victimized and I don't show up for my self-care. So
Mm.
sometimes I like, I just need more sleep.
Oh, yeah.
Or I didn't finish. I had so much work last night. I just have to finish that.
Yep.
Or I have some screen time before because my head hurts and I just feel so stressed. I really need some screen time first. And so, what I thought might be helpful for me anyway is how do I get out of that victim space in my self care,
Oh. Oh.
inspired in my self care? Because I have stuff I really know works. Yeah. What do you think?
Yes. Oh
Get out
my
of the victim and get
gosh.
into the inspired space.
Yes, because the victim is, oh, I'm still tired, or oh,
Or I'm
yeah,
too busy, or I worked so hard yesterday. I need this extra little, or I'm hungry now. I mean, I've got a myriad of reasons not to sit down and study or have that quiet time.
right.
So, but then we become victims. We move into that place of it did this to me. Life
Mm,
did this instead of that inspired place of I am going to do this for others and for myself.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Man, I
So
love that thought. Yeah.
it's fun. It's fun. Okay, so do you have it? Like I have a meditation goal. Everybody knows about that. I've been talking about it a lot. I went to this amazing, what turned out to be a retreat over the weekend. I thought it was a 2-hour class from 11 to 1. No, it was from 11 until 8. It was a
Oh,
full day retreat
oh, wow.
on working with your inner critic. And one of the things that we did, he led us through lots of different kinds of meditation. It was really a really great experience. But
Wow.
one of the things he had us do in our meditation was just to sit quietly, not necessarily with eyes closed, eyes maybe just relaxed, looking down. And
Mhm.
and imagine that the thoughts that were coming into our mind were bubbles. I mean, it
You're
just
like, I
spoke to
love
me. I'm
bubbles.
like, bubbles. Oh, I'm all in bubbles. And then
Yeah.
he's like, okay, so as the thoughts come up, just pop the bubble. Just keep popping the bubble. And so when I practiced with him, I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, this is so refreshing. And it's so much easier to stay focused because I have bubbles to pop,
Right.
right?
Right.
And as
Oh
I
my gosh, I
I
love
practiced yesterday and I practiced again today, and I'm like, that just was what I needed. And so I'm popping
popping
bubbles in
bubbles.
my meditation. And
That's
after I've
that's brilliant. I
isn't that
seriously,
genius?
that is
Popped enough
brilliant.
bubbles, there's no more bubbles. It's just quiet in there.
Oh
And
my
you can
gosh.
sit in the quiet for a few minutes. Thought it
Yeah.
was
And well, because when so during meditation, I'll tell myself, oh no, don't think that. Oh, stop. Oh, why am I? And
right.
then I go down this rabbit hole. But if I
Yeah.
had bubbles to pop, yeah, baby, I'm all about that.
Well, because there's no
Fun.
self-judgment in meditation. All you do is show up and you just keep trying. There's just no judgment. If you show up, you've succeeded. That's it. That's a win. You just show
If
up.
if I show up and don't go to sleep, is that is that a win too?
Some people meditate in bed too. It's crazy.
Okay. Yeah,
But
whatever.
that has been one of my big self-care goals, probably for the last 6 months. I mean, I bought myself a really
Yeah.
great meditation stool. Then I bought a really great meditation cushion. Then I just kind of gave it up for a while. I mean, I'm back and forth and back and forth. But the
Yeah.
deal is, I can see an immediate need for meditation for me because I get such an immediate benefit of being able
Mhm.
to think more clearly.
Right.
And then down to the narrow, the strong, the precise, the inspired. I know it's inspired. It was something my creator keeps saying, this would be really helpful, right?
Yep.
It's reachable. Done it in the past. I know I can do it before. Had the experience in the past. I know what it does for me.
Right.
And so all my pieces for the inspired goal there. And now I've got the bubbles. So this is the last step.
Mm.
This is me declaring that I was successful 3 days in a row, and I'm going to
Oh,
continue to.
I
Yes.
love that. Yes.
What do
Yes.
you have a self-care goal that you've been working on
Yeah,
or
my self-care,
want to
yeah.
achieve?
My self-care goal is all about my nutrition and my habits, my eating habits. And it's not that I eat terrible or eat horrible things. It's a lot of mine is making sure that I actually get enough to eat at the right times. And so I have
That
a
Carmel.
program that I've
You
had for
talk while I
several.
let the dog in.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead, explain. I'm listening.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So hey guys, it's just me now. Um, I just I have a medical condition that requires me to eat really well, and I find myself being the victim and wanting to be like everybody else. Oh, they can eat this, they can eat that, and it's not fair. That little child, the stomping, that 5-year-old that's like, it's not fair. I was always that. It's
I
not
want
fair.
cupcake. That's right.
Yeah. Yeah. I
They're
want to,
fun.
and part of it too is it's so dumb that I have to eat at this time because I have to eat in these increments or I literally can't think I can't. In fact, my family will say, when was the last time you ate? Because I can't remember my name. There's just some major things
It is
going on.
it's a
So
physical thing. Yeah.
it's a physical thing. And so that's my goal this year. And it seems to be every year Do you guys have that problem? Like every year it's this work in progress, but I feel like this time I'm a step closer. Like I didn't fall all the way down to the bottom of the barrel, right? I still
Mhm.
have those things that I learned from previous times trying to make this to be really, really consistent with this. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah,
To let it
that's
just become part of your life. So it's just you. And
yeah,
those kind of goals, they take time. I mean, you may be looking at 3 to 5 years until
yeah.
something is just like the morning routine of waking up. That's probably been a 5-year project for me. And now
Mm,
I generally just wake up and it's not even, there's no contest. I just get up and get my tea and sit down and study. It works. So, but it takes time and good
it
for
does.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're hanging in there with it. So let's play with it with the inspired acronym a little bit. It's very clearly immediate.
Yes,
It's narrow. You've got a very specific time and you've got parameters, very
I
specific.
do have parameters.
And it sounds like you have a really strong why.
I do. Yeah.
Is it internal? I mean, really deep in there? Your why, you're strong.
It is. It's funny because I get distracted from my why. I don't know if you guys have that happen ever,
Yeah.
but when I remember my why, because my why is I don't want to be that person that has dementia, or um, I want to do everything that I can to prevent that. Right.
Right.
And there are
I want
things
to be
within my
healthy.
power to prevent that. Or um, just I just want to have that sound mind. And I want to be there for my grandkids till I'm 100 and just playing and being active. And yeah, that's my why. Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
Be the fun grandma.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
That sounds great.
mhm.
So it sounds like you've got the whole inspired thing down. Do you have any self-care projects that you're missing consistently?
Hmm.
I'll think about that too. Is there something in your life that you keep saying you're going to do and you're not, and you know that it would be good for you to do that goal, that
Mm,
year after year, December 31st comes and you say, I'm going to do this. And then January 16th or 17th arrives and you're no longer doing it.
yeah. Yeah.
That's the perfect place to, you don't have to set the goal right now, but you could work the inspired acronym with it.
Right.
Just
Right.
play with it. Just go through. Is it immediate? Could I narrow it down? Could I be specific? Or could I come up with those reasons for why it's strong?
Hmm.
And just kind of work with it and let it, take it to your creator
Yes. Yes.
and let it kind of work its way into your heart and see if you could shift it to where maybe you felt like you wanted to try again. But it doesn't have to be right away, right? We have all the
Right.
time we need, just working its way through. One
I
of the
love it.
other things I like to do for my self-care goals is build in comfort measures. Have you ever
Mm.
done this?
I have. Yeah. Yeah. Let me hear
What?
yours.
Well, mine involves Target because Target is my happy everything. I don't like to go get my teeth cleaned. I really just don't like to go to the dentist at all. But I don't like getting my teeth cleaned. I grow a lot of tartar in my mouth, and
Yeah.
so the
Yeah. A lot
scrape,
of
I just don't
scraping.
like it. And
Yep.
so I'll avoid that. But I made a deal with myself whenever I go to get my teeth cleaned, I get to go to Target afterwards.
I
And I
love
love
that.
my hygienist, so that works too. But just to be able to go in and it's like you talk to the little person in your head, like you were
Mhm.
talking about your inner 5-year-old. Come on, sweetie, we're going to go do this, and then we're going to go have fun. And
Yeah.
just building in that comfort measure helps me. I know that it makes a difference.
It helps
Yeah.
to
But like,
establish those habits. Yeah.
yes, and the morning, like the morning routine, I stretch a little and I make myself a really nice cup of tea, and then I sit down to study. Because a lot of mornings I don't want to sit down and study, but just sipping the tea, or that book we're reading, The Miracle Morning.
Miracle Morning. Yeah.
Yeah. I really love the silence, because I can sit down with my tea and close my eyes for a couple of minutes and just find that silence place, maybe have to pop a couple bubbles, but not usually early in the day.
Yeah.
And then the affirmation, to remember to review my affirmation and just do a little inner imagery, just a little bit of visualization, and that primes me up to do the reading too. That's a good precursor for me. So comfort measures. For me, it's all about tea and clothes. That's just me.
I hear you, sister.
What do you do? What do you do for comfort measures to kind of keep yourself, reward yourself on your goals or your self-care goals? Because it's so easy for us to let those slip.
It is. It is. I have some comfort measures. A lot of mine, because I'm not an introvert, mine is actually reaching out to other people and having connection with other people. So that's my biggie right there, is being able to maybe call my sister, or, hey, I'm going to text Beth. I kind of need that right now. That's my number one, is having a person and somebody to connect with. I do. I've never had a lot of quiet time growing up, being the oldest daughter of 7 kids, second oldest.
Didn't you say you had lots of brothers too, right?
Yeah, 5 brothers, and my sister is 13 years younger than I am.
Wow.
So I always had all the babies in my room. We just had little tiny houses, didn't have much money, 1 bathroom for 9 people. It was a little crazy.
We did that.
It's just like you make it work. And but so this is a new time in my life when I don't have all of that influence, all of the craziness around me. I'm not rushing to do this, rushing to do that. And so right now I'm trying to work through it just feels awkward. I don't know this at all. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Well, because all of your life you had one pattern of thought and one set of beliefs, and those are old and used up now. You don't need them anymore. And so when you're shifting to a new pattern of thought and a new pattern of beliefs, it can feel really awkward, liberating, a little scary, and awkward.
Yeah. I think what I really need to do, the thought that just came to me, is think of it as a book. Okay, I finished that book. Let's start this new book. What's it going to look like? Yeah. Not just a new chapter, but a new book.
Whole new book?
Whole new book. Yeah.
What's the cover look like?
Oh.
My old book was dark brown tooled leather. My new book is
see, mine, when I first saw it, it's the aqua colors and lots of pigment in it, and swirls or bubbles. I'm not sure which.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. It was so fun. I love it.
Yeah, but inspiration, inspired, just turning to our creator, because that's where the magic happens. It is
with that strength when we make that connection with the creator. It really is. And that's also, you can do the declared. You've had that last letter D in inspired.
Yeah.
You could do the declared with your creator if that works for you. I know quite often if I declare to him, I feel considerably more committed.
Yes.
But that's more my internal way of thinking. Some people need to declare externally. 50/50 Grow Club's really good for that. Declare your goal. Declare what you're going to do for self-care. Declare the changes that you're going to make. And then the girls there can all help support you and keep you going with that. Yeah. Makes a big difference. All right. Well, what's your takeaway? What do you want to do next?
Man, I'm going to really look at my new book. And that's exciting. That's actually exciting. And, within that new book, what what is my miracle morning? What does that look like? And what does that look like when I'm only cooking for 2 people? And all those kinds of things, right? Maybe in my new book, what was I used to? Those neural pathways in my brain, right? What was I used to? And now, what are the things that I have the opportunity to write into my new book? What does that look like? Yeah. I'm excited.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is fantastic. Well, y'all think about how will you use this acronym INSPIRED? And do you have a book that you're working in? And if you do, what's it like? And what is it, like a book of rules? Is it a book of plans? Is it a book of dreams? Maybe it's all of that stuff in there, but for your self-care, for your goals, for you, what's it going to be? How are you going to use that INSPIRED? Be beautiful. Coming up, we have Mastermind tonight for all the girls who are coming to Mastermind. Yeah, I'm excited. We're going to talk about course corrections. And because, of course, we've all been working on goals too, but course correction is it's just that. We are always a little bit off because we are human beings, and how we're going to work with course corrections. I'm excited to talk to Mastermind.
Oh my gosh. My accountability partner this time on Mastermind was brilliant. Yes. It was such a great experience. I just loved it. So yeah.
I can't wait to hear. Oh my gosh, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Yep. And for those of you who are involved with Coaching Clear, that happens tomorrow afternoon. So tonight it's Mastermind. Tomorrow afternoon, there'll be Coaching Clear. There's a Jumpstart coming up in February. It's that first weekend in February. So we're a couple weeks out. And Jen is teaching us how to create peace through doodling and drawing, release stress and create peace. It's going to be, I can't wait to do that with her, because I'm a doodler. I just am really excited to see how that can actually be a tool for us to have more comfort and more happiness and peace in our lives.
That's so cool. Yeah.
Good stuff. And what's going on for book club?
Book club, we are on our, we have one more week after this week. So we'll have the book completed, and we're just seeing, we have all kinds of people that, it's like, oh gosh, I really should do this. I want to do this. And I think as we're getting through the book now, many of us are saying, okay, I can do this. I can do hard things, right? Yeah. I can do hard things.
I'm good at hard things.
I'm going to try this because I can do hard things. So anyway, it's just been really, really neat. So always. Oh,
I'm excited to see what happens with it. I feel like those first 3 steps from Miracle Morning, the silence, the affirmation, and the visualization, are going to turbocharge things for me. Because I didn't realize until I started sitting in silence in the morning that I can be all in gratitude and great until my feet hit the floor. And then I'm grumpy. I got a whole negative playlist going up there. And I didn't know that until I sat down in silence and started seeing those thoughts pop up. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to start my day that way. I want to start my day with positive affirmations and thinking hopeful things and inspired self-care. And so, yeah, set a positive tone. Why not be happy? We can choose. Let's just choose to be happy.
I love it. Yeah. Be great.
All right, my friend. Well then, till next week, ladies. Let us know what your inspired self-care looks like. And if you got some goals or something going on, let's declare and help each other.
For sure.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
That I'll share with you. I can choose a better way with every little thought I think.
Hey, thanks for joining us today in A Creator-Based Life. I hope you felt that compassion, mindfulness, and hope you came seeking today. You can find more of it at cmhcoaching.com or on Linktree/CMHcoaching. Of course, any social media outlet, we're there too. Because you felt the benefit and light in this message, please invite those you care deeply about to join us. Help us to create a ripple effect across the globe of compassion, mindfulness, and hope. Then we can create a creator-based life together. Have a great week, y'all. We'll talk to you soon.
trick that I'll share with you. I can choose a better way with every little thought I think. And if I wake up with a bad attitude, I just fill my mind with gratitude. I give thanks for everything with every little thought I think. I can choose to be happy, choose to be free, moment by moment. It's all up to me, 'cause what I think about, I bring about. That's the way it is, and there is no doubt. Day by day I pave the way with every little thought I think. Day by day I pave the way with